That's what I say. This bull's not giving away the milk. You got to buy me, and that's the price, is to commit to me. And yeah, I have no doubt about my ability to make gobs of dough if that's important to her. But that's not only secondary, it's back burner. Because if she could take care of herself financially, I've been able to take care of myself financially, and I'm doing great. In my mind, I'm already a spoiled brat. I mean, everything's relative. So, compared to some poor bastard who's going to die out on the streets tonight, okay, I'm doing great. Or has decided to go to jail because he gets 3 hots and a cots, and it's a relatively easy life. I'm doing great. So, but gosh, she's so cute, and I love her so much, and I would just, I kind of like stopped even because I go a little crazy when I think about this woman. I'm just so taken by her. And I just know it would just change my life so much for the better, that the life I've been living for decades now would be, I would think, gosh, I mean, I still enjoyed my life, but, living, for a man to live his life alone, it's really pitiable. I just I don't see any upside to a single man. I just see, and from a very young age, as a child, one thing I wanted more than anything else was just I wanted a happy wife. And I knew that alone is what would bring me happiness. 7 years old, that dawned on me, hit me over the head like a brick. Okay, and I said, this is it, man. I don't care. I was a smart kid. All my teachers always said that, very good, very good grades in school, and I was conscientious, and I cared, about learning stuff and pleasing the teacher and all that. But in life, it's so often, let's say you're a pupil and you do outshine the other kids. They resent you so often. That's human nature. It's ugly, and they don't like it. And it's like that in society too. When you outshine people, and some people say they'll say, "Oh, you're just virtue signaling. You're some goody two shoes and all this." That's a stupid reason to do anything virtuous, noble, and lofty, and that shows you're a righteous, upright, decent human being. No, it's not about that at all. It's just about living with yourself and getting the approval from God. God's the grantor of happiness. And I just will never be content. If I do have to spend the rest of my life alone because I'm too damn picky about, finding the right partner, that I have to be completely smitten, I have to believe I got to give her, 100%, or else I'm doing her a disservice. Okay, then you know what? So be it. Maybe I've got to evolve to a different realm. And maybe, when I've got this imperishable body, I'll find the right lover that wants to go through eternity with me. I don't know what it's going to take. All I know is, I can't settle. Okay, and I've got to feel like the woman is perfect for me and flawless, and I can give her 100%. Okay, and this gal that I am totally taken by, she's the one. That's it. And it brings me great delight when I think about holding her in my loving arms. And my life is better just by finding a girl, just knowing that a girl exists, a woman, a lady, a female exists, that I can really walk the straight and narrow is what I really want to do. I just want to be better. I want to be pure. I want to be cleaner. I want to be a better man all the way around. I want better character. I want a better personality. Okay, and a man can't get all those things alone, and he cannot be satisfied. He is not whole. A woman, I think, to a man is more than the better half. I mean, the woman is the exalted creature. I mean, we all know that's the natural order of things, women and children and the whole chivalrous thing. I want a woman to do stuff for. I want a woman to bring flowers to please. I want a woman, I want to listen to her concerns. I want to be all those things that a woman sees in a man, that a woman desires. What does a woman, I don't know. I'm not a woman, but I know that a lot of women love to have a good man. And I want to be that man. I want to be the perfect man. And I'm a guy that can give her 100%. I could say that unequivocally, okay, without any hint of reservation. So that's a promise I can make. At least I'll try it. Give me a first date. Let's see what happens. Who knows? Maybe she, you know, something about me will turn her off, okay? And I don't want to be with somebody that doesn't want to be with me. That's very straightforward, okay? I don't know. I can't imagine that she could think or be anybody that I don't already see. I think she's kind of like me. She's pretty transparent. She's pretty open. Not a particularly private person. I mean, sure, there's stuff nobody wants to talk about. I get into stuff I probably shouldn't. I mean, I talk about sexual stuff and, but I think there's a schism there, and I think we all have to face it, that we all deal with a profound paradox, and it doesn't hurt to look at it just to see how organically we're kind of screwed up, okay? And it's tough that we are a little two-faced. I mean, yeah, there's one part of us that believes, well, the body's just a body. What's wrong with nudity? What's wrong with nakedness? And, we were born naked, and we're going to leave this world naked, and so what's wrong with it? And, hey, maybe sometimes I feel like being naked in front of the whole world. And if you don't like what you see, then don't look. It's my body. And if I want to be naked, that's it. And that goes for everybody, I guess, right? That's, God didn't make us with clothes. And that was the first question he asked us after the fall of man, the original sin. This eating the forbidden fruit, the knowledge of good and evil, and all this, and the subsequent curse, the consequential curse that befell us. And all the woes, all this organic suffering that I mentioned at the start of this video, that organic suffering we all have to face, and all the animals now too. We brought it upon all of them. But, I still have this side of me that is proper and modest and prudish that I like. I mean, I like clothes, so it's not like I have some burning desire to walk around naked. It's not going to happen that, I'm going to ever get in trouble for being naked in an inappropriate situation. Okay, so for me personally, that's where I'm coming from. But still, I think that society makes a real big deal about it. And, one part of me likes that we're prudish. And the other part says, no. I mean, women, a lot of women, they want to be able to go topless. I love going around without my shirt this time of year. It feels great. The first thing I want to do when I get home from running an errand or something in this heat is take off my t-shirt. I love it. And women can't do that. Well, I mean, a lot of women probably appreciate that fact that women, are modest in that sense. But a lot of other women object, and, you got these go topless movements and all this stuff. And you know what? I mean, we're messed up. I don't know what to think about this stuff, but we know that we are messed up. And we have a schism, and we have a lot of things that cause this schism. And that is one of those things. And it's a huge departure from the way it should be and the way it would have been if God had gotten his way and we had taken direction not to eat from this tree of knowledge of good and evil and have to face all these consequences and this curse. And it would be just like the other creatures in that regard, would be oblivious to nudity. But if there's two things that definitely distinguish us from the animals, it's our obsession with nudity and clothing and our obsession with money. And there's not another creature on the face of the earth that has any use for any form of money at all. Do you understand? I mean, that is a huge realization. Just think about that. And no other creature has any use for clothing. Think about it. It shows you how different we are, and we really are. We are like little gods, made the image and likeness of God. Therefore, we are God's children. This earth belongs to God. By extension, it belongs to us. Do you understand? So then this universal basic income doesn't sound so wild-eyed and such a pipe dream. And if you look at it as like just an extension of Social Security from birth, so nobody's born into insecurity. I mean, it's easy for people like Ivanka, or Ivana, whatever her name is, Trump, to talk about how stupid it is and mocking a universal basic income and just giving money away. Okay, how stupid that is. Well, she's got to face her maker. And like I said, all these problems in society that are preventable, she's partly culpable. Anybody that doesn't agree to a universal basic income. you're an enemy of Martin Luther King Jr. This was one of his premier precepts say, hey, you want to prevent crime? Here's what you do. You understand? I mean, it's so stupid. You want to prevent the social welfare industry? All these jobs, all these people doing jobs that revolve around the problems persisting, the dubious war, the debt industrial complex, this national debt. It's crazy, man. I mean, we're in a lot of trouble. We're down the rabbit hole so freaking deep that only God, I mean, this is the case always through history. It's only God that has ever helped us. It's only God that can help us today and will help us in the future. And it's God that's giving me the ability to think about these things and to make sense of it all and realize God's always logical. God's always intellectual. God's always willing to do the math. And that's all I'm saying. Let's do the math here. Like I pointed out, you want to know what minimum wage, how to be commensurate with that $1 an hour in the early 1960s, what it would need to be today? Do your own rough math. Just roughly estimate what is the median price for a house, so what's your mortgage going to be? What is food for a family of 5? Average, 2.5 children, right out an average. Your energy costs, clothing, toiletries, insurance, phone, all those same things we all need to spend money on. So do your own math. Vacations, going out to dinner because you need, disposable income. Everybody needs to blow off some steam, right? So, do your own rough math and you tell me what minimum wage would need to be so people could comfortably afford to pay all those bills and still get ahead, be able to save a little. All right, my friends. Well, so the theme, I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but basically, yeah, I think I started talking about how it is, it's an anathema. It's a bad thing to solve problems for the evildoers. Empowerment is a bad thing. Coming out of confusion, out of Babylon is a bad thing. They don't want the masses to be empowered and to unify against them. They want you to keep believing your problem is the Democrats, it's the Republicans, it's the socialists, it's the capitalists, okay? It's the liberals, it's the conservatives. That's what they want you to believe, that kind of crap. They just so your focus is off them and really getting to the root of the matter and cutting the tree of evil at the root, the Federal Reserve, and we the people getting our way for once. We tried to get our way in 2008. Over 90% of the American people opposed the bailout, yet they had a critical mass, the amount to get the job needed. They had the rubber stampers, the lapdog, sycophantic politicians, the top ones, who were responsible for legitimizing that, validating that debt bailout, okay, of the criminals that caused the problems. You understand how evil the days are, how much trouble we're in, and what a juggernaut of evil that we're facing here, and how important it is for us to unite on these issues and just say, for God's sake, man, Trump a racist? I mean, he keeps over and over, I'm not a racist. I resent the implications, but over and over they keep on throwing these talking points out there, and it's his fault the mass shooters are white supremacists. Trump's a white supremacist. I mean, for God's sake, you'd think that white people were the only ones capable of racism. Anybody ever heard of La Raza? I mean, how many people of Hispanic, Latino descent want to be affiliated with La Raza? It's a racist group, right? Oh, we're the superior race. What group wants to associate with that? Do the blacks want to do that? And no blacks in their right mind want to do that. They don't want to associate with thinking, well, we're a superior race. Hey, even if they are, even if that really is where a lot of the racism stems from. And look at the athletes, the percentages of black athletes, they excel at these things. Musicians. So, I mean, maybe they are a superior race. But even if they are, the good ones don't want to, they don't want to be on a superiority kick where, we're better than the whites. I mean, to what avail? How does that profit them? It's ugly. I mean, it's self-righteousness, and self-righteousness is always ugly. So, I mean, just be egalitarian. Believe in equality. Be like Martin Luther King Jr. Because by default, you're not a racist if you're an egalitarian. You believe in full equality for everybody on the face of the earth. Remember, God's planet, we're all God's children, equally loved, so we have a right to share in the planet's intrinsic wealth. It's that simple, that cut and dry, that logical, that reasonable, that intellectual. End of